On Sunday, hundreds of gunmen suspected to be cattle rustlers attacked Kedar community in Kedar local government area of Nasarawa State.
Well, this led to the disappearance of 2 Fulani persons and the killing of 73 cows. In Benue, hundreds of people have been killed in different deadly attacks by herdsmen.
Now, attacks on both sides have continued almost unchecked for some time now, despite national outcry and calls on the federal government to take decisive actions against the perpetrators.
Well, it seems the federal government has finally listened to the voice of the people as it has decided to commence military operations in the affected states. But is this decision coming too late, or is just at the right time? We have a leader of the Joint Action Front, Biodun Aremu, in the studio to talk to us about this. Good morning to you, and thank you for joining us.
It's a pleasure of being here with you.
Yeah.
All right, would you say too little, too late, but yes, coming at the right time, this military option by the federal government?
It's not about being too late. It's about the government not being responsible. So I'm thinking violence against the people must continue, because people suffer all forms of violences. You see, violence of hunger, violence of unemployment, and several violence. And at the end of the day, you kill the people again physically. You see, it's not about military. You see, the issues has to do with survival. Now, people are raising the Benue questions, the Nasarawa thing, which are the latest. You see, but you will discover that in 2016, there was also a massacre, you see, of the Fulani, you get it, in the Mambila Plateau, which did not attract this kind of things.
Up to 800?
You see, so it didn't attract that kind of media attention. And that is why you owe the government responsible. But what is at stake? The stake is survival. So the one who had the cattle should need the green pastures to survive. The one who is a farmer, you get it, need the land to survive. And also depending, like in the Mambila case, you have the miners, you see, who also have to survive. So it shows clearly that the government is not responsible. Secondly, if you look at what has happened now with the herdsmen, the cattle rearers and co., there are almost about 2 categories. You see, those who are involved in this crisis, in particular, are actually those who are who are being used as slaves in the big business. You see, when you see people herding cattle in hundreds and co., they are not the owners. You get it? And it's a national thing. So it's not ethnic. It's only that those who are involved in that particular trait, you get it, come from a particular ethnic group. In the same way you talk in those days of the Ibadan people being the Alakwata. You get it? So that makes that target. Because many of them are poor. And it's because government has been so irresponsible in this country. Because if people have to earn their living, there's a provision in the constitutions that said government must be able to provide economic opportunities for the others. You see? And that is why when you look at those wearing the cattle, Yoruba Obas may be there. Benue chiefs and others may be among those big businesses. Because if you have 1,000 cattle, you get, even if the price is about 100,000 naira, which will have been the cheapest, that's almost 100 million naira a year. So it's big businesses. You see, but because government has not been responsible, you see, year in, year out, you see about those who need to earn decent living, conduct their trade within that. So there are categories of Fulanis, you say they're in the gas. You get it? They live among the people in the community, although stay far distance. You see? And there are community checks on some of these things. Well, you cannot be living in certain places and also be causing conflict. There's a way of solving that out. You see people sell cheese. They call wara, Abi, outside and co. They come from that kind of Ga community on a daily basis. You see, and when you have those attacks are sophisticated. You get it? Because the actual owners of the cattle, you see, who are military men, some in the presidency, you get it. You see, actually the one responsible for that kind of sophisticated response that you have had.
Speculation.
Yeah, you see, because there are studies on some of these things. They are not just about, I will give you why it cannot be speculations. You have the land use decree in this country as far back as 1977. And it allows you, if you have to do grazing, to almost access to about 1,000 acres, you see, of land that you can acquire. But what happened? Military men used the land use decree to acquire 20 square kilometers of land. And that explained the Obasanjo farm, Danjuma farm, and most of the retired generals farms, you see, at that level. You see? So, whereas the poor cannot access this. You see, and that's why the concern for some of us. And the third thing is that if government has been responsible, you are at a modern stage of development, whereby there should be no Fulani person that is not educated. How many people are involved in the trade? You see, you encourage a philosophy of suffering, of destitutions, you see, among people.
Okay.
You see, and once there is that conflict, you see, among the people, you get it now. So you are allowed to assume that ethnic dimensions. You see, use force to think that you've tried to
So in
repel
essence,
it.
you're saying that
So
military option
the
is not the
military
way to
option is
go.
none.
That
It's
is
the
to
same
solve
thing
the
with the Boko Haram
problem
thing.
of poverty.
Yeah, it's the same thing with Boko Haram thing. Because it's economic wastage at that level. Military are going to move there now. The arms the military are going to use from where? The Defense Industrial Corporation in Kaduna is not producing anything. So that's capital flight. And it serves the interests of Americans and the other Western DC and co, because the American economy now is a war economy. So all those wars and all these things they are manufacturing, where do they spend it? Imagine if those money have been put into education, that no child of school age must be in school. The relationship will change. You get it?
All right.
The Aminus and co. They were first-class students from University College of Ibadan at that level, who tell you those who rear cows cannot be that and co. So when you have a polity that is irresponsible, and you have people at the ends of affair who are ethnic-centered, who make inflammatory statements and co. You see, in which the president himself has been indicted before. People like Kerufa and co. You see, what kind of Fulani are you when you keep the other Fulani people down?
Okay. Now, you have said that the military option is not the right way to go. But the point is, the concept of empowering these Fulanis that you say are poor, educating them, all of that certainly would take time. But from this standpoint where we are right now, villagers and farmers have started arming themselves to defend themselves against those who come to attack them. So if the military is not the option now, how do we solve the issue?
The military is not the option.
Okay.
Why not let's have the statistics of those who are involved? You get it? You see 100 of cattle. How many people are involved? You see, what led to this? You see, because it's like survival instinct. You see? People regroup. You get it? You see? Those who fought in Benue may not likely just be from Benue. You see, at that level. You see?
Well, we heard
and
that
that is
they are
why
foreigners.
you see, that is why it is difficult, you see, to have a culprit or anybody being tried at this level.
But when we hear
You
that,
see,
when
now,
we hear
see,
that,
the first thing is that's why I said now about military. You get it? Let them go and arrest some of those who are involved. Let them go into the bush and do that.
but when we hear that,
You
those
get it?
who...
And bring them to public attention and find out from them. You see a lot of revelation in terms of what to come out. What I'm saying is that, one, those who own this case is like cheap labor. You go from green pastures, you get it now. You are virtually not spending anything. And you are paying somebody starvation wages. You get it? But with a backup. And that's why some of those Fulanis, as they ask cattle, they're up to date with news. They have their radio. They have telephone. Because they have to communicate with the big masters. Who owns that? You see?
But ultimately,
the total population of those who may be involved will be shocked.
Yes, ultimately, we need to come to the root of this. Who are the perpetrators of the killings? Because they might not be the owners of the cattle.
That is why you see,
the government says the militia members from foreign countries coming in.
My sister, if you get to about here now, you can take the statistics of those who control the businesses. You get it? Where do you have your DSS, SSS, all security apparatuses that you are spending on. You see? People like a Maeti is just like a figurehead. You get it, Uncle? You see? You know, it's like you have a front in businesses. You get it? The others are the pounds in those businesses. The president cannot claim. You get it? He has the issue of having going to intervene when this has happened. You have people like Arufai make inflammatory statement before on this matter. You see, that's what I'm saying, that a responsible government, you get it, must be responsible to their citizens in whatever they are doing. In the same way in which you call the area boy, the area girls you have in Lagos, you get it. Now government changed them. At election time, they become useful tools to foment troubles in elections. That is the thing. You see, the problem is that as long as you continue with this kind of exploitative system, private interest governance, you cannot move forward. Because what toughens those who call the Fulani is this. Somebody operating in the bush is already accustomed, you get it, to some level of defensive mechanism.
And hostility.
You see, but there is a lot education do about it. You can't come and tell me that it's an ethnic thing. I will reject it. Because as a student in school, in Form 1 in school, we were exposed to literatures that taught us on different culture. You get it? We read Things Fall Apart. You read Bonnie's Grass. You get it? By Cyprian Ikwezi. Ikwezi is somebody of Igbo origin. He wrote that. And that was the story of a Fulani life. You have African tribe by Kamara Laye. So you think big. You get it? You have clear exposures.
All right.
So what has to happen? That's the problem. So what I'm saying is that the people themselves, you get it? The people who are committed can resolve some of these crises.
All right. I'd like you to just itemize what the immediate solutions to this can be now. Since we're moving away from the military option, you said it's not the solution. Because if we have to wait to educate these people and empower them and give them and take them, it's going to take a long time.
That's the most immediate situation. One, why do you need the military to go there? The first thing the military we do is extorting people. You have operation, what they call a crocodile.
All right. I'd like you to just itemize what the immediate solutions to this can be now. Since we're moving away from the military option, you said it's not the solution. Because if we have to wait to educate these people and empower them and give them and take them, it's going to take a long time.
That's the most immediate situation. One, why do you need the military to go there? The first thing the military we do is extorting people. You have operation, what they call a crocodile smile. Yeah. What were they doing? You get it? Extorting people, harassing people at that level and go. You can never get a result out of it. Maeti or whoever, the community knows themselves. You get it? The community knows themselves. You see, the man is not in the moon. Abi? So instead of now going there to kill, go and bring all those involved. Bring those who are the victims. You see? And let's have a public inquisition on those. Why must we go and do this? You see? So it's not to do this abracadabra thing that the military has gone there. That's why you are in the Sambisa thing. The Sambisa thing will continue. You get it? It's a project of looting for some people. It will continue.
All right.
But imagine if that money is on education. If there's no child walking on the street selling pure water.
Security is paramount, really, in any country.
Security of life and property begins with engaging the citizens at any level in productive engagement. Productive engagement for a child of 3 to 12 years is that he or she must be in the school wall of an environment where his intellect is put to maximum.
All right, but however, comrade, we've also seen people who are educated, who are empowered, also commit crime. So, but however, that's a discussion for another day.
I'm talking is that, they said if somebody wake up now, you get it, and it doesn't have, you see, one thing that goes with education is not the book you are reading. There is what we call the social aspect of education, socializations.
When you are enlightened.
Because when you interact with other people, you see it differently.
Okay. All right.
we have to leave you here now. Comrade Biodun Aremu, a leader of a Joint Action Front. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you for coming.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you so much.